no matter what you're offering. One thing about me is I'll never collect money if I know I can't do a job you're paying me to do. A lot of people, pride themselves as professionals in the industry. I've never acquired any, formal knowledge on whatever they are doing in the industry. They're just parading around and, marking time. You look at somebody like Shoyu. Shoyu is like, he's not an artist that you actually call talented, as in when it comes to making the music, but he has a name more than lots of popular rappers in the industry. There are record labels that have invested more than, I will say, 100 million on an artist, and the artist has not blown up. It's not normal. Trust me, these young artists who are coming up, they always have some level of confidence in popular names. In fact, anybody who is popular in the entertainment industry, they always feel anything that person tells them is valid. Anything that person tells them is correct. That's not true.
Welcome to your all-in-one podcast show, where we speak to heal, to teach, to inform, and to educate. Get ready as we dive into today's episode. My name is Britney Fonki. You can call me Fonki Speaks, your favorite host. What's popping, beautiful people? It's such an honor to be with you again. I'm so happy. I'm excited. Here we are today. We are still reporting live from Buea. As it stands now, we have a phenomenal guest. He's said to be one of the top Cameroon's finest bloggers. Let's call him promoters in Cameroon. Right now, he's here to share his story with us, and I am excited to hear what he has for us. Ladies and gentlemen, he's an award-winning blogger. He's a multifaceted, very talented, dynamic person. Here we are with the one and only Fuchor. Hello, sir, Fuchor. How are you today?
Hi, Britney. I'm good. Hope you too.
I'm excited to have you.
Same here.
Thank you for honoring that invitation.
You're welcome.
When my producer was telling us that Fuchor would love to have him on this podcast, I was like, wow, he's Cameroon's finest, the biggest. Let's call it a legend in terms of blogging. Not to really give you accolades that you don't deserve, but you really do.
Thank you.
So, sir, Fuchor, let me see. Should I say sir? Some people are not comfortable with that.
Feel free. Anyway, feel comfortable.
Let's say Fuchor. I think that's a Fuchor.
Yeah.
Fuchor, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Okay. My real name is Lekiaka Destiny Alemge. I'm a Banwa boy, proudly. Professionally on social media as a blogger, promoter, I'm known as a Fuchor. I call myself the Omnipresent Blogger. I call myself the Machine because I do a lot. And on social media, I'm a blogger. I'm a promoter. I recently started a new career too as an MC, a host. And that's me. I also, control other platforms, international platforms like Music Base Africa, Hip Hop in 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. You just ventured into MCing. I said on social media they know you as the Machine. Do they know you as something else in real life?
Actually, my life is all on social media. That's just the reality. Most of my activities, I would say 98% of my life is on social media.
Whoa.
So there's nothing else that I really do offline that is so, so special. Everything is online.
Wow, Bangwa boy. Say your name is Destiny.
Yeah.
So why Fuchor?
Yeah, the name Fuchor, when I, few years back, I had dreams of becoming an artist. There's this popular Ghanaian rapper, he goes by the name Sarkozy. When I used to listen to him sing, I used to be very, amazed by his music. Then a Cameroonian artist came into the game, he goes by the name Kosi. Yeah. When I heard his way of rapping, I heard his way of doing music, I was like, okay, this is like Sarkozy, a version of Sarkozy that I can actually understand, because Kosi raps in English. He used to rap in good English and pidgin English as well. So one thing I discovered was people find it very hard to, mimic his music based on the fact that he raps very fast. But I, in particular, I find it very easy to sing his music. Even till date, I still sing his music easily. So I felt maybe I actually have a skill in the field of rap music as well. So I started writing my own raps, drawing inspiration from people like Eminem, Sarkozy, Kosi. I started doing my own stuff. And when I was thinking of a name, an artist name, I decided to look for something that is kind of similar to my real name, Destiny. I thought of Fuchor. I was like, is it really similar? But then Fuchor is the best thing that came to my mind at that time. And the real spelling of that name, Fuchor, is actually Future. But then to create some kind of uniqueness, I decided to, play a little bit with a spelling. I decided
Yeah.
to change the letters.
Unique.
So, it's going to look somehow special to people. And I don't know if I did a good job doing that because, a lot of people get it wrong when pronouncing. So, yeah.
Sure. All right. Okay. Destiny, future. Amazing. Outstanding. So also, as you say, you did rap, you did music. And what happened? What made you to switch or stop music and venture into blogging?
Okay, actually, a lot of people believe so much in chasing their passion, but I'm that kind of person that I know in Cameroon we day is not like in the United States where you could be passionate about something, they pick you up, put you in a school that is maybe particular about that stuff, and you finally end up being what you're passionate about. In Cameroon, sometimes you could be passionate about something and then years go by and you don't see you taking a next step in that particular stuff you're passionate in. So I'm that kind of person who believes that if you know the goal, if you know to bring you money,
Changer.
just leave them for now. That's the mentality very few people have, and I'm one of them. Not saying I'm very proud of that mentality. I love when people chase their passion, but me in particular, I mean, when I look back, I look at the struggles of my parents, I look at the amount of people counting on me to make it, and when they talk about making it, it's about bringing the cash back home. So when I was doing this music, everything was going well, everything was moving great, and the record label that saw me and picked me up at that time, Talanga Motion Pictures. How did they get to discover me? Some famous names like Salatiel, Wax Day, and a lot of popular Cameroonian bloggers used to share my freestyle back in the days. So when my stuff went viral, and Salatiel in particular posted this record label, Talanga Motion Pictures, they spotted me and decided to sign me. So when they signed me, everything was going well. I released a couple of songs and even did a collab with a Cameroonian rapper, Askia. It's on YouTube right now. The title is Swag. So everything was going well. Then the record label, without me fully, because I blow up as an artist, no, without me fully gaining recognition, the record label decided to they wanted to push more young talented stars. They decided to take up some young artists, two of them, and something happened along the way. It's like these guys did some freestyles and it gained so much attention online that they started feeling like, okay, the record label isn't doing much for them. It's time for them to look for, for their way elsewhere. So another record label reached out to them while they had a standing record label deal with Talanga Motion Pictures, and somehow they signed a deal behind the deal they had already with my own record label. So because of that, my boss, who was the CEO of the record label, Mr. Talanga, he just somehow killed his spirit. He felt like, so this is how he can pick up young stars from nowhere and then he makes them blow up, then they abandon him like that. So that motivation to keep sponsoring young artists, it died down. And music, it takes a lot of money. Meet anybody who is in the entertainment industry, who is into the music industry, they will tell you that doing music consumes a lot of money. Having to pay TV stations, pay bloggers, pay music producers, pay video directors is so much. So on my own, I could not keep on pursuing it. And I saw that my record label, the energy wasn't there anymore. Even when I take out time, spend my own money, record songs, send to the team, I saw that. You mean the music I was doing?
Yeah.
I can't really tell since I was under a record label and everything finance was coming back to them. So I could not really examine to know. And again, our contract didn't last up to a year before everything died down.
Wow.
So I could not really tell. If they were making money from my stuff or not. So just that level, when I saw that the record label wasn't interested, wasn't motivated to keep pushing anymore, I said, okay, it was time for me to look for something else. It was time for me to look elsewhere and,
Took the path of blogging.
I wouldn't say it just went like that, but yeah.
That's that path you've taken. I know I've been into journalism.
Yeah.
I know how sometimes it can be. Many of us who interpret. It's like the bloggers are the same like journalists. They are the voices of the people. Sometimes misconcepted to be the nosy people, misconcepted to be the impeaching chook skin. They want to know news, they want to just know things, not really like they really care, but to just be the first to post. Now, before we go into that question of why or how has the journey been into blogging, right? You as a person, I've heard a lot about you. You are a young person, doing great, have assets, and has been misconcepted. I don't know, but I've heard rumors. How do you take that to say that you are not just getting the source from blogging alone? Birds, other sources, or could be, some very not nice words. I'll not call
Yeah.
it. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, right, I always say this to people. There's this statement I always use, that even if Elon Musk gives all his deepest secrets to someone and that person isn't disciplined, you're still not going to achieve anything, even if you know all the secrets to success, even if the richest person on earth gives you his secrets. So the reality is, there are some rules I've set for myself that a lot of people cannot even set those rules. A lot of people who are watching this will not bear doing that. They'll be like, nah, that's not a life. Right now, stepping out for this podcast, this is like the first time I've stepped out of the house for anything in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, I could be out there partying, I could be going to clubs, I could be going to snacks, I could be living life, hanging out with friends, all of that. But I don't even do most of those things. Even friends, I could be in my house for like 3 months straight and nobody's going to knock my door saying they are looking for me. Like if you're in my house with me, we could stay 3 months and no extra person. Except when a landlord one can check how far away to the airport. You will not get anything. So I've basically isolated myself from anything that could make me to spend unnecessarily. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do stuff, I don't gamble, all of that, I live a very disciplined, I don't chase women, most especially, because that's like one of the highest things.
Yeah.
Now, people will be like, other bloggers, others have been doing this blogging for long, this and that. How come you're the one doing this? And I will tell you that there are others, a couple of people, colleagues, I won't say it because maybe they will not really want it out, who are also doing stuff like that. And let me go straight to answering that question. There's nothing else that I do in life right now. There's nothing else that brings me money aside posting on social media. And this question that you're asking me right now, the very first person to ask me that question, surprisingly, was my mom, because she herself, when she came visiting, when I was living in Mayor Street, she came to Boya to visit because she lives in the West region. She brought an issue to me, like she was in some kind of financial situation. A very reasonable amount of money was needed to solve that situation. And when she told me about it, the way we made any complaint, I said they want cry. I just entered the room, counted the money, gave her, and even gave her extra change. And she was very surprised, and she was like, there's something they call in the West region, because Kama, what Francophones call it, is décrocheur. That's how they call it. She said there's something they call that. Is that what I'm doing? I didn't I first of all laughed. I picked up my phone. I first of all went into my chat with people who come to me for advertisement, brands, all of that, and I showed her, just look at this. I showed her how someone has made payment. I went to my Facebook page, showed her, I was showing her Momo transactions. I went to my Facebook page, showed her the person's advert that I've done and everything. She got to see how much I charge people for adverts, how much people pay me. I also showed her my stuff from monetization. Though monetization, people would think that that's like the main thing. But to be honest, monetization is just like, I would say 5% of my money, of the money I make from this blogging job in particular. Yeah, so the money I make from monetization on my platforms, Music Based Africa, because my main page Future is not monetized. It's just a Music Based Africa and Hip Hop in 5. The money I make from there is a very reasonable amount of money. But still, it's not even up to 5% of what I make generally monthly from blogging. I have deals with brands. Recently I signed a deal with a digital bank, Key Bank. It was like a monthly promo stuff, and that's not the first time. I've signed deals with ICT University. I've signed deals with lots of university. Currently, I'm on a deal with this school in Boya, Reims. I've been talking about yesterday. I posted about them. I have deals with artists. In fact, almost like every day, I get like, at least if it's small, 5 people who pay me to promote stuff on social media. And how much I charge, I would not like to actually disclose that, but it's a huge amount of money for just a single post. And I've gotten to the level where I can actually guarantee people stuff like, there are a lot of artists who get disappointed that they pay bloggers for promo and they actually don't see any changes. But I've gotten to that level where I can speak with certainty. I tell a client that if you're paying me to promote your stuff, you'll get exactly this. And they get exactly that. And I'm also honest to the extent that if I promote you, if I promise to give you this and I fail to give, I could actually refund your money, though I've never failed. Last time I found myself refunding somebody's money was in 2022, where a guy paid me to promote his page and I had shadow ban. Shadow ban is this stuff on Facebook where your page, you're popular normally, but then because you've gone against some community standards, you post and people are no longer able to see the things you post.
Yeah.
So my page was suffering from that and I could not really deliver. So that's the only time when I've actually had to, refund somebody's money. So yeah,
that was your source of.
there are a lot of things I do. There are a lot of stuff I do. Like I've managed to discipline myself. If they were in it, save my drink na gari for 2 days straight because I did try for save some particular amount, I go do them. And actually, since I started saving money from blogging, that's since about late 2021, I'm the kind of person who is scared to invest in business. That's something about me. I'm very scared. Even when you come to me, hey, can you help me a business idea? I'm not the best person to give a business idea because I always feel like, what if you start restaurant, you cook for and can chop, they chop sour. What if you actually cook plenty? You buy meat, cook plenty, chuck it inside fridge, they cut light. I think of those things a lot. What if you want to start importation, you import stuff, it fall for water, it makes me scared.
So you actually just save?
So I saved for a very long time until it got to a point that I felt like, okay, the money was, convenient enough for me to do something which will not, like the risks, there's risks there, of course. Risks is in every business, but then it's minimal, it's not too,
too much, yeah.
Voila. So I decided to buy a piece of land and I started building. When I wanted to start building the project I had in mind, I asked my architect to draw me a plan. And when I saw the amount of money that would be needed to realize what I wanted to do, it was very huge. And at that time, when I was asking for that plan, I didn't even have up to, I would say 20% of the total amount of money that was required for me to achieve something like that. But then I decided to just buy a plot, put a foundation, and before I knew it,
it's big.
One thing about me is that with every passing year, how much I'm able to make a month increases. There was a time that I took like a whole year to save 100,000, and now it gets to a point where I'm able to make more than 2 million sometimes in a month.
Wow.
Yeah. And all of that I invested back on my project. So the reason why, there are a lot of people who also make money. Making money is one thing. Using the money wisely investing it in stuff is another thing.
And that's the hardest.
That's where my money goes to, like everything I do. There is no other thing. Sometimes my mom, my dad, they might call me and say there's this. But there is no other thing that I put money on. And like I said, I don't involve myself.
It's just blogging. Blogging. So, wow, that's to clear the air to everybody who is saying a lot of things, to those nosy people on social media who just want to bring up things and say a lot. This one is not genuine. This one is like that. Actually, it's very genuine. Social media makes it possible, very possible and realistic. Now, Fuchor, you do a lot of charity work. You support people. You supported people. Influencers like Very Dark Woman, Sparkle, and Floxy, Florentos. You give them support or you use your platform. Is it that the support you give is that you just have so much that you just want to give out, or what's the main motivation for you helping people the way you do?
When you say I have so much that I just want to give out, mind you, I've not actually been giving out money to these people you've mentioned. And again, it's not Sparkle, it's Zachary.
Okay, Zachary, Zachary.
So there are some times that you see somebody in a particular situation and then you feel, okay, this person is in the entertainment sector. I consider myself an ambassador in the entertainment industry. I feel like if an entertainer is going through stuff, it is like my responsibility to
help them.
To help them in whatever way I can. For Floxy's case, she came to me on WhatsApp and explained the situation to me, and I felt it was really terrible. It was from someone that I could say, okay, this is like a colleague in the media space, so I didn't want to outrightly come out with it. But then there are some things you hear about someone is just so disgusting that, and again, there's a level of evidence provided to you. It's just so disgusting that you feel.
You actually went very hard on that case.
Yeah. It's actually so disgusting that you feel. I mean, if you just tell me something like we're discussing and you tell me something, it's different. I don't just go straight to belief, of course, I'll need to. But then when you tell me and you present some level of evidence to me and you even send me links to posts made by that person to, defend your claims, it's already so annoying that I don't even feel there's a need to contact you. So I just had to do this open air warning, knowing obviously that she was going to see the warning. And enough time passed and the person failed to comply and I just went straight to dragging. That's not something I regularly do.
Yes.
But then I was happy. I was able to raise a lot of
awareness
for her, a lot of awareness on everything.
Help.
So yeah, I like using my platform positively. When I decided to do blogging, I decided that most bloggers always feel the only way they can grow is by putting people up against others, by posting negative gist about people.
Yes.
And when I decided to do blogging, I decided to do something different. I decided to use my platform. I decided that everyone who gets tagged on my page will immediately see mine, because they know they are coming to read something that's good about them. So that's the kind of niche I decided to follow. And again, I would like to make young bloggers know, coming back to that point again of how I'm able to generate a lot of money. There are a lot of bloggers, you reach out to them and they tell you, oh, they are not in good terms with this other blogger. They don't talk with this person. They don't talk with that entertainer. They don't talk with that actor. But I'm that person that has managed to make myself in a way. People even call it fake, but call it whatever you want. That's just me naturally. I don't like trouble with people. There's no blogger in the industry that I can mention right now that I'll tell you this blogger has not brought me a deal in the past 2 years. I'm not talking about just one deal, multiple deals. And of course, I'll not be in that position to receive so many deals from different angles when I'm not in good terms with people. So it's also important for you to keep a good name, to keep a good reputation. You see a lot of people recommending you.
Yeah.
The deal I'm having now with Rims, Paco recommended me for that. Imagine I had one day posted something to throw him or posted some kind of nonsense about him. He'll probably give my black card for his chest.
True.
And he will not be able to help me. So trust me, it's also important.
So
when it comes to actually giving out money, I do that, but sometimes it's a way to motivate my followers to be active, because trust me, I do this stuff differently. Just check on social media, ask yourself which blogger does this particular activity that I do, and you will not probably
Find
see
anyone.
up to 2 others who do
it's
it.
unique.
I sit down sometimes and every month end I could give out 50,000 francs to my most active. That's because I treat it like a business. It's not just reporting online. I understand that every time somebody comes to me and pays for promo, they want to see people commenting, they want to see engagements, they want to see results. And I go extra miles to make sure this happens. There are bloggers that they could promote your stuff, like they are very popular, they have engagements. But when they post about you, it's like every other post is having lots of engagements, but the promo post they made about you has just about 10 likes in hours. And then you're wondering, what's the problem? So I invest a lot too in the stuff to make sure that no, my followers are hyperactive and everything. They also go to YouTube too, not just commenting on Facebook. In fact, someone should not just be known for giveaway. You should be doing, if you're on social media doing stuff, you should have something that you're doing, that you're known for. Then giveaway probably comes, once in a while as a side something. In fact, every celebrity should do giveaway once in a while to show appreciation to those who support you. I do giveaway. This particular year, I'm giving 50,000 francs every month to my top most active follower. And by the end of the year, I'll be giving out an iPhone to the most active follower overall. That's because I understand that that's my business. That's what gives me money. So I should be able to appreciate those who, voila. So a lot of entertainers, they put out songs, they complain about people not supporting them. But if you have to ask, you discover that they have never even pulled through for any of their top supporters, which is wrong. So that's the first part. I do give away to appreciate my active followers. Another one is I do give away to promote projects. Cameroonians are very scared of clicking links. You could make a post on Facebook and it has over 500 reactions, and just 10 people from all of those 500 reactions actually click a link to, visit YouTube or any platform you're trying to pull them to. So this giveaway sometimes is like a way of seducing people to leave Facebook, go to YouTube and do something, or to probably follow somebody. And I personally, I do giveaways to help promote projects. That's for clients who have some extra cash to spare out. And most of them are always very happy about it. If you have to, this is the logic. If you drop a song today and you have to pay 10 bloggers, let's just assume you're paying 10,000 francs per post to 10 bloggers. That's 100,000. That's 100,000 francs. And all of them have to make a post announcing, okay, XXS has released a song, an amazing song. If you love it, go to YouTube and enjoy the full version. Out of those 10 bloggers who are going to post, their posts are going to have interactions. But then you might not even get up to 100 views from all of those posts they are going to make. I'm talking about organic views. But look at how giveaway works. With giveaway, let's just say the money you paid all of those 10 bloggers, that's 100,000. You give me 100,000 francs now. I go live on my platform, encourage people, go to YouTube, this artist has just dropped. Go to YouTube, leave a comment, come back, tell me done when you've done so. And then you do this exercise and then you discover, even you as the artist, you're very motivated. You go to your comment section on YouTube, you see over hundreds of comments on YouTube. And trust me, this is like a way of forcing. There are a lot of people who go to YouTube for just the giveaway. Then they go and get hooked on because they discover, well, this is actually good. I should actually subscribe and come back to listen to more. So it's just like a strategic way of that, drawing them to YouTube. And at the end of the day, everybody already knows. Please, if you're my follower watching this and you've probably participated, giveaway on my platform, and you felt like you won, you did the tax, and you didn't receive anything, let me explain the logic so that carry me for hearts. Now, when people come to me to run giveaway for them, the idea is that I have a very huge following, close to 250,000 followers. So normally, if I tell people to follow a particular page or go to YouTube and leave a comment, over 1,000 people are going to do the exercise because I launched it. But then I cannot reward everybody. The cash is usually enough for me to reward just about 50 people and keep my own for the job I've done, the exercise I've done. So I never choose. There's never a standard for choosing. That's because I want to make sure it's as unbiased as possible. I don't see the first person who did the exercise. I don't see maybe the second person who did. I just reward randomly. So you participating today, doing the tax and not being rewarded does not necessarily mean it was fake or something, because a lot of people say it's fake, you don't reward any. That's a fat lie. And anybody who says that truly is just trying to speak, because if you visit my comment section every time I do giveaway, I reward over like 50 people sometimes. So go up, calm down. You must see me replying to someone saying I've sent you cash, or you must see someone appreciating. So yeah, that's the way in which I share out money. But aside that, generally I love using my platform,
your platform to advocate and to help people.
Yeah.
Wow. In this journey of social media, or in this space or path of social media, what are the major challenges you face online or on the social media space?
Yeah, it's very difficult for me sometimes to talk about challenges, because trust me, life is good. So I mostly focus so much on the beautiful things that are happening around me that I tend to minimize. But then I will not close my mouth on this one. MTN and Orange, thank you all for the amazing job you guys are doing in my life, for my network. Most times I need to kneel down and pray for you guys to give network for me to do my work smoothly. I've bought MTN home box, I've bought Orange box, everything, and it's still headache. So trust me, that's one of the major challenges I face online. And aside that, trust me, there's no big challenge that I face. Blogging is a very smooth job. And again, anybody who intends to be a blogger, the biggest challenge you face is at the level of trying to gain that recognition. It's at the level of trying to gain those followers. That's just it. Yeah. Once you've successfully created a good name in the industry, trust me, life is just going to be smooth for you. Little or nothing to complain about.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you very much for that. It's MTN and Orange. That's your major challenge. And aside that, we believe one day it's going to be good. It's going to be better. It's going to be very effective. Amen. We see you support a lot of let's say in the secular space. You are very active and prominent. What do you think about the gospel industry, especially gospel music? What do you think about it? What's your take on everything that's happening there?
Okay, yeah. First of all, I would like to applaud everybody who is doing gospel music. In a generation where majority of youths are only interested in listening to the kind of songs that take people to hell. and most artists, even the ones who claim to be from religious backgrounds, they find themselves singing all these worldly songs and all of that.
True.
The pressure of having to please the majority. That's what the gospel artists, that's what the gospel entertainers have been able to, suppress. So I really appreciate them for that. And again, we have gospel artists who go extra miles to make sure that they are actually, putting out quality stuff. Investing in something that, a lot of people really shy away from this, and then still going extra mile, like shooting quality videos. Yeah. I look at the quality of videos that gospel artists shoot. I look at the quality of, music production and everything. I'm really impressed. It shows how committed you are to really serving God and winning souls for His kingdom.
Wow.
Sometimes there's this gospel song that has been making waves on TikTok. What was that song again?
The Cameroonian song?
No, not actually a Cameroonian song, but it has been, I would say it took over TikTok. A lot of people thought it's only these secular songs. When I sing, I want to be singing.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see how much people are willing to invest in the gospel sector now, and all of that. Trust me, I really appreciate it. I really enjoy it. Before there's this standard. Even today, if somebody wants to mimic gospel artists or gospel music, you see them doing some low quality stuff to prove it out. Okay, music videos of gospel artists are always like this or
True,
like that.
true.
But now gospel artists have been able to, you know, up the standard and really put out dope stuff out there.
Yeah, are there some gospel artists you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, of course, Cornel Grace. That's an amazing gospel artist. We also have a gospel artist like Akubai. That's an amazing gospel artist. BGC Melody also coming up with some very powerful gospel artists as well. I mean, there are so many of them. I mean, shout out to everybody doing gospel music in the industry, not forgetting the legendary Elizabeth Seke.
Yeah, that's our mommy in the gospel space. Over the years, you've gained a lot of experience, as you've already given a take-home message to upcoming bloggers what they should, the advice you would give them. What are the things you think they should pay attention to in the space of blogging, especially those key things that they should? I don't know how I should coin it, but what are those key things you think they should pay attention to in that space?
Okay, if you're an aspiring blogger, if you're a big blogger in the industry and maybe things are not so smooth, the first thing, one of my biggest secrets is, you know, being online a lot. And trust me, it's going to be difficult for you to be online a lot if you preoccupy yourself too much with other stuffs out of what you do on social media. Like I said, I don't go for parties, I don't go clubbing, I don't go to Synax, all of that.
I don't have women. You don't date women.
Yeah, I just wake up every morning, pick up my phone. I wake up as early as 4 a.m., pick up my phone, go to Twitter, because that's actually where sometimes you follow a celebrity, a very big celebrity on Facebook, and you're like, this person doesn't talk, the person doesn't interact with fans. If you want to know where the real stuff happens, go to Twitter. That's where you see even the likes of Davido insulting, exchanging with people every day like it's nothing. So that's where I regularly go to for gist, and it has been programmed in a way that you can see what's trending, you can see number 1, number 2, number 3, everything. So please, you need to be active. If you're a blogger who is, you know, gospel blogging, you know, blogging about music in general, movies, you need to be following all these top entertainers.
Research.
You put on the notification bell on their accounts, make sure that everything that they put out, you're immediately notified to check it out. There's a lot of beauty in being the first person to put out information. You know, that's one important thing. If, let's say, something very nice happens to it right now, and everybody's posting about it now, you who is posting about it now is definitely going to get more engagements than the person who is waiting to post about it maybe 3 days when the whole thing has died down. A lot of people will see the post, but they'll be like, Master, they don't see the thing. There's nothing new about it. So you need to try as much as possible to be current. You need to try as much as possible to be consistent. And there's this little gold mine that most bloggers ignore on Facebook. It's very wrong for you to make a post and the post has 0 shares. You personally share your post into Facebook groups. Yeah, there are a lot of active groups. There's a way to know if it's active or dormant by seeing the number of posts that have been made that particular day you're trying to join. Try as much as possible. If your page you're talking about comedy, just search Cameroon Kopi's fan group, search Auntie Felicia fan group, search different groups. You will find their groups on Facebook that have been created for them. Share into them. I used this strategy to grow my platform, Music Based Africa, and again, it was really good. So please don't neglect that as well. If you're a gospel blogger, you see groups like Frank Edward fan groups. You can name them. What are some popular gospel artists worldwide? So you could join their groups. If you search on Facebook, you will discover that they have groups. Join their groups. Every time you post about them, share into these groups. Tag them as well. You may never know. A popular artist endorsing your platform, sharing your write-up could go a very long way to boost your morale. And again, don't be too focused on monetization. A lot of bloggers reach out to me to complain, ask about monetization. I asked for the link to their handles and I discovered they probably have just about 1,000 followers. And you ask yourself, even if you monetize a page with 1,000 followers, what are you going to be making from it? Nothing. So it's very important for you to focus on growing your platform. Be patient. It's not something that is going to take minutes or just days or weeks. Even a year, if you've not gained up to 10,000 followers, don't give up. It takes time. Good things take time. And as I said, where you don't finally make them, where you don't finally blow, once you don't finally make a name for where they nobody talk about bloggers, where they don't mention you, everything is just going to be smooth for you.
Yeah, it will be easier. That's it. Research. I think you said research. Let's also share to groups. Let's grow the platforms other than looking for monetization. Now, as an artist, somebody who has been a previous artist, what do you think is the greatest drawback in the Cameroonian music industry?
Okay, I've been asked this question over 4 times, and it's always the same answer that I'm going to give, and I'm going to give that same answer now. I feel like there are a lot of people who claim to know things that they don't know, and these people are the ones, drawing people back. You'll see somebody, a wealthy person in the diaspora has maybe created his record label. He's looking for a manager, and this person will come up and be like, okay, I'm a good manager, I can manage your record label and the artist under your record label, when they don't know anything about being an artist manager. The job of an artist manager in particular is very tedious. There's a lot. In fact, an artist blowing, you have like, I can say 80% role in you making sure an artist blows up.
Yeah.
But most people in this particular industry who parade themselves claiming they are artist managers don't have any idea about the job. They don't know what they are supposed to do. You see big shows, big concerts happening in the country, and your artist is not on the roster. You see Burna Boy headlining shows every day. You see new stars like Tyler in South Africa. She popped up and then she's on all of these shows. You think, how does that happen? That's basically the role of a manager, to make sure you're connecting the artists here to make
different opportunities,
exactly,
different platforms.
Exactly. So I personally people have reached out to me because they feel, okay, I'm this popular blogger, I can manage them, and I'll tell them straight away, no matter what you're offering, one thing about me is I'll never collect money if I know I can't do a job you're paying me to do. A lot of people reach out to me and be like, Future, I want you to manage my artist. I don't know what managing an artist entails. I don't have what it takes to manage an artist, so I'll not accept that job. People should learn to be honest about stuff. If somebody comes to you and is like trying to do research, most of these artists, these young artists who are coming up, they always have some level of confidence in popular names. In fact, anybody who is popular in the entertainment industry, they always feel anything that person tells them is valid. Anything that person tells them is correct. That's not true. There are a lot of things you can come to me, for example, and ask, and I'll tell you straight away, I don't know, and I'll recommend you to someone who is in a better position to advise you.
But
a lot of people don't do that. You collect money for stuff you cannot do. You feed people all kind of lies, and then later everything is.
You have a bad record.
There are record labels that have invested more than, I will say, 100 million on an artist, and the artist has not blown up. It's not normal. Trust me. Even if your music is not good as per, let's say, the general standards, because in reality all music, he has his audience. Even if your music is not good, look at an artist like this guy who sang I'm a good from Ghana, this AY guy. His songs still blew up. You look at somebody like Show You is like, he's not an artist that you actually call talented, as in when it comes to making the music, but he has a name more than lots of popular rappers talented in the industry. That's to tell you that, forget, you will not really spend time complaining that the artist is not talented. If a record label has spent over 100 million on an artist and the artist is still not able to blow up, it means they are putting the right amount of money in the wrong areas. And who is to be blamed for that? It's the manager who even, sometimes embezzles money. I've gotten complaints of that the manager will say, give me this, I need to put this artist here and there, and they will collect the artist and they will collect the money. They will not do anything. A record label boss will trust a reasonable amount of money in the hands of a manager, trusting that he's probably going to put the artist's music
on
video, Trust Africa, Boom TV, everywhere, and finally he takes the money, sits on it, does his other stuff, and finally the industry is not moving forward. So please, the solution is people should try to be humble. They should try to accept that they don't know. They should go back and learn. A lot of people pride themselves as professionals in the industry. They have never acquired any formal knowledge on whatever they are doing in the industry. They're just parading around and marking time, leaving a record of bad jobs and all of that.
And that has really given a bad name to the industry, especially this management thing, this record label stuff, because of one person who didn't do a great job, who actually mismanaged an artist, mismanaged someone who is trying to survive in the artistic space. And now, thank you so much for sharing that. Honesty is very important, like you said. Now, how do they even do to start discussing on these things? At least there's supposed to be a communication before an artist goes under a manager, or a manager taking up an artist. I think there should be clear communication.
Exactly. Like I said, you've just asked me a question that I think I should go and do research on. You understand? And I'll not go ahead to start giving you answers because I'm on a podcast and I feel, okay, you're asking me because you expect answers, I should just give you.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. A lot of people in my position will start answering that question even when they know nothing. You understand? And it's just somehow.
That's right. Wow. Now, thank you so much for the honesty. As an international blogger, what can you say to upcoming Cameroonian creatives, those who are also striving in the space, especially these our TikTokers, Yeah, what can you say to them? Because there's a lot of things going on TikTok. There's a lot of every day is calling basketballs. This one is dragging this thing is coming up, locking here and there, and so on and so forth. What's your take about that? What can you say to them?
Yeah, I think I answered the question like that already, but let me just add something to it. A lot of people think, in fact, there's this popular phrase they always use that they say negativity sells. I'm going to come here to use myself as a testimony with a lot of evidence that positivity sells as well. A lot of people feel the only way to, make a name is by dragging, doing this and that. Look at someone like CJ. He made a name. In fact, he's one of the fastest comedians who has ever gained relevance in the Anglophone speaking regions of Cameroon. And he did that by, simply doing what he's supposed to do, what they expect of a comedian, making people laugh. His creativity, his consistency, and hard work brought him to the level where he is in the industry. You have people like Tabaski as well, who is like, signing big deals today, making a lot of cash from his videos on TikTok. And that's to also tell you that you can make a name in the industry, you can become someone in the industry in whatever field you choose without actually, choosing this line of negativity. And trust me, this stuff you guys do on social media, you might minimize the impact of that in real life, but trust me, it could really disturb you. Because there are a lot of brands that might not trust you. I have brands who come to me and tell me, please, can you recommend some influencers, some TikTokers who want to, get them on a deal to promote our stuff? I will recommend a TikToker who has a huge following and everything, because I believe, okay, that's like the whole thing, that's what they want. And they'll be like, no, we cannot associate our brand with this particular person. Yeah. So you get to understand that these things you do for you is just cruise and all of that, insulting people, doing stuff, all kind of stuff on social media. It gets to affect you somehow. And in the long run, you look at your colleagues and be like, man, so that guy is cannot be the same thing what they do. When you don't know the way you've been limiting yourself ignorantly. So yeah.
Oh. So thank you very much too. How can creatives penetrate the international market? Or just like you, because you're not just a level of Cameroon, you have broken those boundaries. Yeah. How can a Cameroonian creative penetrate the international market?
Yeah, penetrating the international market is something that is quite difficult based on that, most countries naturally like to support what is theirs already. Again, one thing you can do is don't be reluctant to hop on trends. Every day there are modern trends that are coming up. You could go viral on TikTok just by hopping on a particular trend that was maybe, invented by someone who is not even in your country. That has nothing to do with your country. So one thing about entertainers, most of them is that they are shy to explore. They base themselves so much on the idea of originality. Of course, you have to be original, but that shouldn't stop you. You have to know that as days go by, even what you consider your culture, even what the things that go on in your country, they evolve. New things happen. So if you're an artist, you should not be, hesitant to hop on a song like Amapiano because you feel, okay, that's not Makosa, that's not Abikusi. You shouldn't hold back yourself. When you look at an entertainer like Kosi, he hops on literally any genre of music that's trending. He has done Afrobeat, he has done Bikuti, he has done rap, he has done Amapiano, he has done all genres of, So that's one thing. You see, Godis Fongwa currently, he's on TikTok and he has videos that are blowing up like mad. If you follow Godis Fongwa right now on TikTok, he's doing well. That's because he's trying to, his style of comedy, style of comedy that he used to blow up here in Cameroon, it's not the same style he's using on TikTok.
Absolutely
so
different.
You understand, every day there are new trends, every day there are different things that people are following. And one thing about trends is that they don't even last. So imagine you who is stuck to one thing that people have been doing since 1980 and you're still doing it today and you expect growth, you expect to hit the international market. It's going to be difficult. So yeah, don't be hesitant, don't be reluctant to adapt and hop on new trends. It's very important.
Just hop on new trends, in everything you said. I can really tell you very insightful. Like you insightful in the sense that you answer spot on and then you don't go into what, like you said, you do not know. You also mentioned something at the start of the podcast which I'm very intrigued by. You said you actually have a lot of responsibilities up to I think the first child.
I'm not the first child. My mom has 3 boys. I'm the second born.
Okay, it's the second one. Yeah, the family responsibility. Really?
Yeah, so like I said, I come from a very humble background. A lot of people, when I sit down and I'm be like, I've been through a lot, they'll be like, how old are you that you've been through a lot? Actually, I've been through a lot because right from a tender age, in fact, O level, A level, I had to hustle personally. like join my parents to hustle to be able to register for those two exams. I did a lot of jobs with my dad. I've worked in a plantation, sweet cam rubber plantation, where you wake up very early, 4 o'clock in the morning, you go and work. I was like the youngest in the camp. I am my elder brother, pen boy. I've also, done a lot of jobs. I remember my dad when he was in Douala, we work shanty during the day. At night, we go and ping nyama. So I'm actually, from a very humble background where my parents were basically just working to take care of us. It was never that level where they could have something extra to invest in other stuff. It was always like, work, chop, work, take care for picking them, that kind of thing. So I'm blessed to be someone in the family that I feel God has said, okay, go forward. So because of that, right now I have a lot of people. I have my junior brother, I have my dad, I have my mom. They also do stuff, you understand. But my dad is a teacher, my mom is a teacher too, private sector. They are both qualified to teach under the government sector, but you know how Cameroon is. So they are just doing private teaching for now, earning salaries of, I think, less than even 100,000. So you see, that's not really enough. So most times I have to, pull up for them. And my junior brother, I've actually taken. I'm basically standing like his father, making sure I pay his fees and everything. So yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting to hear. Oh, the future. Oh my God, see, I know it's it's with the goal. It's from a very humble background. What can you say? And one that inspires everything.
Okay, yeah, my mom. My mom is my number one inspiration. In fact, the sufferings I've been through with my family, that's what inspires me. I just look back and I be like, I don't want to be there anymore. That's what makes me, even till date, there are times I just sit in my room and I just think of those moments. There was a time when I was hustling with my dad, and that was when I was trying to raise money to register for my advanced level. And there was this building, this construction site. We went and applied to work my nerve because my dad is a teacher, like I said. That was holiday period, salary not the past that time. So we're just doing these lay jobs beside to kind of gather some cash. So when we found this job, I never actually had boots. I never even had a good shoe that I could put on to do it. I was using my 2 rope slippers to, mix cement in construction sites, carry cement, go and give to builders who are doing, maneuver. Yeah. So with time, I started feeling a pain around my leg. I still have the pictures on my phone, just as low right now. I started feeling pain around my leg, like my leg basically started like swollen up. When hot water pours on your leg, the way it looks like, that was exactly the same thing. Like, you understand? And the friend began saying, I don't match something for road. But with time, we got to understand I was that cement. That thing made me feel so much pain. All the money we had worked that holiday, we had to invest in healing that one on my leg. So when I think of all of those things, I think about, the struggles of my dad in Gabon, having to sleep under trees just to, be able to, because the way they work is, they come and get you guys in the plantation. And first of all, to enter the vehicle, there are limited vehicles. So you basically have to fight. So most of the time, he doesn't want to get back to the camp because getting back to the camp means you have to fight the next day. So he just decides to sleep in the farm, sleeping in mosquitoes, that kind of lifestyle, just to make sure that you're able to take care of us. When I think of things like that, I'm like, nah, my parents have to enjoy. It's time for them. So I don't sleep.
That motivates you. Your courage. Well, I'm actually very touched by that. Now, many people are from Bumu backgrounds, but instead they turn up to be the opposite. So they follow the same party, and they're like, it's because I'm just from this background. So my father did not very fast and me. Hear me just go in that sick route. And he said, he's inspired by his family. Let's all be inspired by running up this. If I were to ask that, is it the only?
You can look at it from Dongus. I one thing that is super cool and makes you gives you up to story. Okay, man.
My building project, actually. My building project. When I look at it, like I said, the very first time that I got the plan to the building plan, the budget that was written on it by professional architect Bade Ovin, it was a very huge amount of money, and I could never imagine. That was that 2022? I could never imagine that by 2025 I'll be at the level of finishing already. So that's literally, when I look at it, I feel like truly there's nothing that one cannot do. Because at that particular time when I received that estimate and decided to buy a plot, decided to put down a foundation, the first thing that was in my mind was, let me just build, 10 rooms down and roof. I didn't actually think of building a story building.
Okay, just small.
But then I felt like I got advised by a friend who told me that having a land and deciding to build that kind of house is like wastage. Better build one step, deck it, and leave it. Even if you want to finish in like 50 years, just at least, yeah. Voila. Because when you build that low house, it's like you've already consumed the land, except you have to destroy it again to put up something different. So it really gives me a lot of fulfillment. It makes me happy. I can't count the number of people who are my age who have done stuff like that. So it's a big thing for me. And again, it gives my mom, my dad, I don't know how many times they tell me we are proud of you, this and that. So it makes me genuinely happy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's really inspiring. The picture. All your last words to everybody watching you with your accounts were properly great. Send everybody up.
My last words. It feels a way when you say it like I say last words.
Everybody's podcast.
Okay. Discipline, having a good personality, being disciplined is going to, take you very far. It's going to do a lot more for you than even, being very talented in whatever. There's a lot of people who are talented. When it comes to blogging, I cannot count the number of people that I will totally accept that they are way more intelligent. They do this thing way better than I do. The way they write, the grammar and everything. But trust me, all of that, if you don't have the right personality, if you don't have a lovable personality, if you don't know how to treat humans right, you're still going to fall back. So please, it's important to work on your personality. Be humble, no matter how fulfilled you feel you've gotten. Still learn how to be humble. Learn how to respect everyone regardless of where they come from. And please don't minimize. Anybody can be anybody tomorrow. You don't look down on someone because they are here today. The person you're looking down at right now might be in a position where they can feed you tomorrow. There's this guy there's one of my followers. That guy used to be down. I mean, he had problems with his eyes. He was basically like the breadwinner in his family. And what was he doing? He was riding Okada. And there was one time he was like, he won the best follower on my page. And I gave him some cash. He was very grateful. He treated his eyes. He paid his debts. And that guy used to just look at him. I'll feel sorry for him. But currently that guy is in the United States of America. I don't know. He treats me as if I'm his family member. Every month he will write me, bro, please send me your Momo. And I want to see a reasonable amount of money will enter. So that's just to tell you how people's stories can change. So never look down on anybody. Never despise anybody. Anybody can become anybody tomorrow.
Anybody can become anybody tomorrow. Wow, powerful word, powerful Kioskan. Kicho, thank you so much for honoring our invite. I'd love you to reach out to Best September Studios Basic Group and covering this podcast. Coming up with the lots of us. So this is Best September Studios. On to you.
Massive big shout out to First September Studios. Much love.
Thank you so much, Future. It's been an
amazing time, ladies and gentlemen. Please do want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Omnipresent Blogger in Cameroon. We are so grateful and happy. And do not go anywhere. We are coming back with more. Stay tuned. We hope you learned something new that will help you at one point in life. Please do us a favor by sharing this episode with your friends and follow us on all social media platforms as Britney Fonki. From us to you. See you in the next episode. Bye.